thank you for joining us. Rahaba Mahumaile Mteto, a faculty member at Maluti Adventist College. And with me, I have Mrs. Tlelima. She is our esteemed Alumni Association Treasurer that has recently been launched. And she is also our Nursing Services Manager at Maluti Adventist Hospital. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Okay. So I understand that your expertise is within the leadership and governance in nursing services.
Yes, ma'am.
That is true.
Very correct.
Okay. So how would you define professional and academic success?
Wow. According to my understanding, when one is successful professionally or academically is when they have climbed all the ranks of professional development, especially in the line where they happy with or they are passionate with. Like for instance, when I started in nursing, working as a nurse, employed, there were so many things that I liked. I liked to be, I was passionate about bedside nursing. And I wanted to develop in any line that is will put me next to the patient. And one of the things that I really wanted to do was critical care nursing. But during our times, it wasn't very common. So that made a setback for me. I didn't know which other line was there in nursing that I could do, could keep me next to a patient. I think I started working in 1992. And I didn't develop myself until 1998 when there was an advert on people who would like to do medical surgical nursing. So I said, at least this one maybe still relates to critical care nursing. And somebody was motivating me to do it. So I went for it and I did it at the degree level. I started as in diploma. So after diploma in general nursing, I did a diploma in midwifery, and then I rested until I went to do a degree in nursing, medical surgical nursing. Unfortunately, it was paired with management. So as I was doing medical surgical nursing, I became passionate also about management. So I said, this is interesting because I excelled in the subjects. And then I said, I really love management. So I planned to advance more in it. So I didn't do it right away to advance more in management until 2014. That's when I did management as a specialist in it at master's level. So I've seen that it's nice to grow gradually. You don't rest, because immediately you rest, when you go back, it's very frustrating. It's like you're starting from scratch. And that's why, to me, to be saying this person has already developed is when you have achieved your passion in nursing. It's diverse, but you need to know something that you love the most and you grow in it. And then I also think that when one is said to be successful, maybe you need to be involved in professional development, mix with other people, meet with other people. You can even join the associations. That's where we grow, most of us, because we meet with people from different angles of life or of profession, and then you realize that you grow better. And then the other thing is you also need to have something that you say, I'll leave this behind. In my professional development, this is what I have achieved. So innovation is something that helps a lot, have that thing that will be linked with you and say, so and so came up with this. And I believe that is what we call professional development. Work hard on making sure that the profession also grows and develops. Thank you, ma'am.
Wow. I am mesmerized. I got intrigued when you said happy and passionate, because some people define professional success as getting paid more, having a big paycheck. But in your explanation, you talked about pursuing something that makes you happy, and also something that you are passionate about. Why is that significant? Because I don't have the same experience and I don't have the same expertise as you, but in my few years, I can say, of pursuing nursing, I know there are hard days. I know there are days when you have done everything and this patient, you want them to survive, but you can see that everything that is medical, they are not going to survive, and you have to engage their families and let them know about that, so even when days like that are present, how do I say, okay, I'm still successful, today was still a success, or this week was still a success, even though I have lost a patient?
Yes, when you are passionate about something, there's something that it's like it pushes you to do it again. And you will know that even if I have lost this patient, I did all that I could to help, but it didn't work.
That is so true.
So when you're passionate about it, it gives you more energy to go and try again. Maybe even learn from the experience that you have had. I know I did this. Did I really, really give my best? Or there's something that I could have done? Or work, maybe I could have, really done to make it better. And then you also want to try it again, that the same thing. So passion gives you energy to wake up again the next morning and know that I'm needed. As much as today I'm down because of this, what didn't go well, but I'm still needed. My services are still needed. So I think that's what helps us to continue.
Wow. Thank you so much. What message would you like to convey to students that have already left the institution in regard to success whilst they're beginning their nursing career?
Thank you very much. Like we have said, success, it's all about climbing and achieving that which you really love at work. So as we graduate, many times most of us will say, this thing I don't want to.
I'm not going to school ever again.
No, I don't want to open these books again. That's how we feel many times. We feel like we have achieved, yet we have learned that it is just the beginning. Whatever we have achieved today is just opening the doors for more knowledge. And you realize as we climb, there's more to learn than when we just stop. So they continue to climb, especially in the areas that they love the most. And students should also, the graduates should also be aware that in the work field, there's a lot to learn. And to learn from different disciplines, different people that we work from. From those that we believe are great people, there's a lot to learn from. Even those that we are lowly considered, there is a lot that we learn from. And those may be people that we think their work is low, or they are less achieved than us. There are those people that have a wealth of experience that we can learn from. So as one, they need to be open-minded, learn every day, and also they should know what to take home and what not to take home. They have been trained. They know how things are to be done. So when they go to the work field, that's the moment when they now have to implement that which they have learned. And be aware of being swallowed by the system. Because when one is just from the, say from school, there is a lot of information that you have. There are many changes that you want to implement, but you realize that sometimes the people you are going to work with are now exhausted. Exhausted because they've been working for a long time, exhausted because they've been experiencing a lot of painful things that have created some demotivation on their side. So every time when we get new people, we believe that they are going to motivate us again and bring about a change. So they shouldn't adapt or adopt to what they find, but be agents of change. Many times when we conduct interviews for new employees, this is what we encourage them to do, that you are coming with your fresh mind. Please help revive those who are now exhausted. Let them not discourage you or whatever that will help you to be no longer yourself. So remember, there's a lot to learn. Give out your best. Like we have said, money doesn't satisfy. Many times you want to have more and more and more. But if you're passionate about what you're doing, you'll be satisfied despite of what you are receiving at the end of the month. And the other thing that I've learned, people want, maybe when they come, they will expect to be promoted, to be given this and that. That will come as maybe as a reward at the end of the day, but do what you know. Give it your best. I'll just give an example that I always motivate other people with. When I started working, I worked maybe for 2 years, and then I was promoted to a senior position. It wasn't even on my mind. I wasn't even thinking about it. I didn't even know how it worked. I was just called and said, you're going to be promoted. We have seen the dedication. So be dedicated to work, be committed, give the work your best, and then it will reward you at the end of the day. Seeing patient going home alive if you're working in the clinical setup, or maybe somebody will say, I recognize your hard labors, but let it not be the driving force that I'm doing this so that I can reach a certain position. And at the same time, when we are in the now working, you continue to develop yourself. There's a lot that is happening in the clinical setup or in the workplace that you need to be able to, we need to be relevant to the work you're doing. I think that's what I can say to the young ones. It's challenging, but challenges help us to be better people.
True. Mm-hmm. I feel like you're professionally charging me as well because what you're saying is very important. Challenges come in a workforce, in a workplace, and it's very important to stick to what you know is right. And unfortunately, when you know that this skill or this procedure is supposed to be done this way, the minute you stop doing it like that, you're never going to remember the correct way ever again. So to the new nurses who are pursuing their profession and their careers, there you have words of wisdom from Mrs. Tlelima. She's saying to you, remember to be dedicated, to be devoted. And I'm remembering a phrase that says, when you do work, you should do it like you're doing it for the Lord, not your employer, not even your clients, but you should do it as though you're doing it for the Lord. And the rewards that you're mentioning, they will come but it should not be a goal, or it should not be what's driving you to say, I'm doing this commitment and this dedication to my job because I want a promotion. Because when it doesn't come, you get so demotivated and you feel like you're not even being recognized. And then you realize that as much as you're doing what is right, but the motive is wrong. So we need to get the motive right to say, even the clients themselves, when you're going out of your way as the nurse, you find they don't even say thank you.
Yeah.
After the wound dressing of a septic wound, and then you're not even wearing a mask because you don't want them to start belittling themselves. And then after that, you're expecting a thank you, you don't get a thank you. Next patient, you're going to be demotivated to go an extra mile the way you did with the previous patient, only to find that this patient was the one who was actually even going to say thank you and appreciate you. But that appreciation, as much as it would be helpful, but should not be the drive to pursue excellence in the nursing delivery. Thank you so much. Those are very wise words.
I say one should know what they want, and they should know why they are there. And like you've said also, we should always seek guidance from God, because otherwise on our own we cannot be able to do it. Taking care of ill people is not an easy task, but it works better when you know that you have God on your side. When things are tough, we just move to a corner and then utter words of
prayer.
Just prayer and say, God, I need wisdom. I need to know how to handle this. And every moment you invite him, it works better. It's not easy, but it works better.
That is true.
Thank you so much.
You're reminding me of a scripture that says, they become weary. They that wait upon the Lord, he shall renew their strength. Yes, because nursing does consume in a way, but the minute you keep going back to God, he shall renew the strength. And you're saying it doesn't take the burden away, but it becomes a little bit easier or better. Like he says that his yoke is easy. Wow.
It becomes bearable.
It becomes bearable.
It is.
So they should remember that their cornerstone is the Lord.
Yes.
Despite the mitigants that are going to happen there, but they should remember that their cornerstone is the Lord, and whenever it gets difficult, they should find a corner and say a word of prayer and go back to their patients.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So there you have it, and I believe from now on you're going to make sure that you have devotions. Remember, you're not just going to find a corner when it gets hard, but you're going to make it on daily basis to say, let me intentionally invite the Lord and not just go to the Lord when things are getting hard and the challenges are arising. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope it was as fruitful to you as it was to me.
Okay, thank you so much for the invitation again. We wish you all the best as you start the new career. Thank you.